Hey everybody, welcome to H4G. Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony.
I'm Mitchell.
And I'm John.
Now today we're going to be discussing toxicity in online gaming, specifically Overwatch. Now Overwatch isn't the most toxic game out there, but it definitely has
not
some.
Free of it.
Yeah. So we were going to be discussing, is that okay? Is it not okay? How much? And we're going to be taking different stances. I'm going to be moderating, but do you guys want to talk about, just in brief, the stances that you'll be taking?
I feel that what there is in there, I don't think really gets in the way of me enjoying the game, and usually entertains me more than anything. Just the salty tears of the people bitching in the game. It gives me vital sustenance.
Okay.
I'm going to be taking the stance that the toxicity is a problem for a lot of people in the game, and we should not be doing that so everyone can actually enjoy a game, the purpose of playing the game.
Again, just to preface this, when we talk about toxicity, we're not talking about, like, death threats or doxing or...
I like how your first finger there was death threats.
Death threats.
You just immediately...
Yeah,
Tony's
exactly.
the toxic one.
I'm the toxic one. Yeah, exactly. So when we talk about toxicity, we're not talking about like serious like toxicity, but it can lead to that.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about like the most extreme versions, because I'm sure obviously you would agree, those sort of things aren't good, even though generally other sorts toxicity
I've played
you.
a lot of online first-person shooters, and this isn't the least toxic I've ever played. I think that would be Left 4 Dead, but it's far from the most.
Sure.
Good God, is it far from the most?
Fair enough. When you're openly called some swear word or some like derogatory bullshit, do you feel it actually affects you? Or has it affected friends of yours?
Yeah, me personally, no, but I've had like a lot of friends who had just gone on like hiatuses for Overwatch, just because like every time we get on, whether in competitive or quick play or any of the arcade, it can be like so toxic, and they've got like mud being slung at them, and they just like, life is already hard enough. They want to like play the game just to get away from it and have fun, and then they get called a loser and told that they suck.
If you're having a bad day, I can certainly understand, or like a bad, let's say bad month, something like that. Something really bad's going on in your life. I can understand taking hiatuses and stuff like that, but for me, I guess I was born in the trolling, molded by it. You merely adopted it.
Okay. So apparently, for some of your friends, it's
Pringles
gotten so bad that people have actually left the game. It's something they should be enjoying. John, I mean, so has this ever happened to you? I mean, it seems like you don't really.
Well, I've had people insult me from time to time, but
it just rolls.
It's just some asshole on the internet. So it's like, the only times I've ever truly been offended in my personal life by comments that have been said to me are like people I know and respect on that subject. So it's like someone on the internet being like, wow, you suck at this game, kill yourself. It's like, it's just water off a duck's back to me, but...
Yeah, so none of this is like really personally affected you or anyone,
No.
taking a hiatus because the harassment got so bad. It's not like, fuck off, that kind of thing. It's like the harassment got so bad that someone had to leave, right? So it's like, it's not just toxicity, it's like cumulative toxicity, But for you, that hasn't necessarily been the case.
I have heard a couple of people who play on console, and they are younger, and it's like, it really is a different world when you're in public school or that school age. So your life is much higher stress, but it's like, I don't know, I've heard people claim they've gotten doxxed over the game and stuff like that, and it's like, I can't imagine that you could possibly get someone so angry at you that they're gonna boot up their internet detective powers to track you down and shame you because you were just a really, really bad, I don't know, Farah for 6 minutes of their life. I find that absolutely insane.
So you're skeptical about some stories that you've heard regarding doxing.
Some I have heard, I have found laughable.
Okay.
But
So some stories have been highly exaggerated.
Yes.
Out there, okay.
But, I mean, on consoles, it may be much worse because it is, a different demographic.
Sure.
On PC, if you have a kid's voice, you're going to be laughed at. But some consoles are a lot more open to that because, I mean,
the demographic.
A younger kid, yeah, you might buy them like a $300 console. They can play for a couple of years. You're not going to buy them a $1,000 computer.
Yeah.
So,
and just to be clear for the audience, for those of you that don't know what doxing is,
that is revealing someone's personal information. So if I gave out Tony's address and phone number to just everyone, that would
here,
be...
let me pull it up.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks,
it's
yeah.
two...
Let's talk a little bit about sportsmanship and sort of how that can go positively or very negatively in the Overwatch world.
I don't know, when it comes to at least Overwatch matches, and I'm sure it applies for other first-person shooter things, at the beginning, I like a good, like, you know, have fun, good luck kind of thing. It's not required, obviously, but, like, that is, like, an opening thing that, I don't know, makes everyone feel good, sets them up for the game. And then at the end, you know, a good GG. It's almost like, you know, the handshake at an end of a game where the team comes up like, oh yeah, you know, you guys did a good job.
Sure.
We may have lost, you may have won, but everyone did all right.
Yeah, and I feel that in a lot of ways, there have been so many matches where it's like, somebody should have been a little bit more willing to give me criticism, and there's certainly times where a lot of teammates probably should have learned to handle criticism better. Like me just saying, hey, you playing Junkrat in this one part of this stage doesn't seem to be working out. Is there anything else you'd like to play? And they're like, no, fuck you. It's like, okay, well, that was hilarious.
Well, I remember when the game was still early, in things like quick play, there weren't hero limits for what you could pick.
Yeah, because you could pick anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you have like a team of like, I don't know, 5 Mays and a Lucio or something. And like, that was just terrible. That was terrible to play against. Or, you know, like you would have one spot left and then someone picks like a third Hanzo.
Yeah. The player base loves Hanzo so much, but he's pretty situational, and people seem to think that situation is all the time.
So let's talk about just the general gameplay to start off with, sportsmanship, etc. So what's going on in the Overwatch world right now?
Oh, what I really don't like when it comes to like toxicity in the gameplay is when you end up with the GGEZ.
Okay, so the easy is a backhanded slap. It's like, good game, screw you.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, basically.
It was a great game because you sucked so much.
Exactly. Okay, so, you know, it's just kind of like a lack of sportsmanship is what you're saying.
Yeah, I feel it's really unnecessary, especially because that's always said by like the winning team, usually. It's
usually
like
the person who helped the team the least.
Yeah. So it's just at the very end, everyone knows who won, who lost. But then you just throw in that, like, by the way, you guys sucked. And like, that's unnecessary. That doesn't do anything for you. The game's already over. You're just making someone feel bad. I guess that's part of why they do it too. Like, the logic is just to get a rise out of someone. But it is really frustrating when, like, you know, you push the payload like 2 centimeters, you're almost there, and then match is over, like, okay, we almost won, but whatever, and then you get a GGEZ. Like, that wasn't easy. Yeah. I know it wasn't. You're just saying shit.
Shouldn't people really be able to say what they want? I mean, like, sometimes you really do just want that Junkrat to go kill himself. I mean, sometimes you really do just want that. They chose Trash Mouse. They should have known better.
So is part of your argument, too, like, you know, GGEZ isn't necessarily the worst thing you could say to someone either.
No, it actually is, like, what's weird is you can say racial slurs, and most of them seem to go through, like, chat. Like, I think there is a chat filter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I disable, but, like, yeah, the slurs will go through that, but yet GGEZ is, like, changed at the server level. It's not on the client.
Sure. So as far as Blizzard is concerned, GGEZ is kind of like the F word of Overwatch.
And I like what Blizzard did with like trying to combat that. If you type in GGEZ, Blizzard will actually replace that text with something like, it was an honor to play with you, or like, hug me, I feel like lonely right now, to make the other person seem like honorable or pathetic or something, as almost a punishment for typing in GG.
Okay.
But there's so many ways to get around that. I think Blizzard could do a lot more. I did notice you can say gay you cannot say homosexual. They will block that one.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Usually people tend not to type homosexual in such a fast-paced game. It's a lot of keystroke.
Yeah, usually you would think that, like, homosexual would be a little more PC.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like a scientific term, whereas, like, gay is more of, like, a cultural term.
Like, you can have constructive criticism.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's
sometimes
not
the only way to get somebody to listen, though, is just to be a little rough with them sometimes. Sometimes you give them a little constructive criticism, and then you give them a little bit more, and they're still playing Hanzo, so you just have to finally be like, listen, you goddamn weeb, switch off of Hanzo. And then they lock Genji, and he's like, you motherfucker, we needed a second healer.
So let's transition from there into team composition and toxicity involved with that, because it seems like obviously your team composition is very important in Overwatch, and there's a lot of drama.
Very.
Right?
Yeah.
So what's going on with that? What are the issues? Why should you either A, care, or B, not care, let people do whatever the hell they want to do?
Overwatch is a team-based game, so it's coordinated around, everyone working together. So everyone, should be able, and everyone knows how the game works to some degree, at least after, like the first few levels.
Is the name of the game.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone knows what teams should generally look like. But you will so often just, have the entire team made, no healer, and then last person picks Hanzo. I think that's kind of toxic in some way, because that person is intentionally picking something that's not going to help the team.
Yeah.
They knew they were doing it.
I need those gold medals. I need them.
Yeah, exactly. It's ruining the time for everyone else.
As long as it's not in competitive, where it actually heavily impacts me all the goddamn time. I think like in quick play, it's not too big of an issue. Usually if I see somebody do that, I'll just be the one to switch, because I know that it's going to be more of a pain in the ass to get them to switch. I mean, I'll still try and annoy them, but, by like not healing them or something like that.
So you're basically what you're saying is that for Mitchell, it's a frustration because the team isn't coming together as a unit. Whereas for John, it's like, okay, well, that's frustrating, but it'll be an opportunity to troll them.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
If I can both still have like a fairly competitive team and somebody I can annoy.
Does violence just beget violence in Overwatch, John?
Yes, it does. So me and my good friend Ryan were doing our placements for competitive for Season 3. And one of the matches, I was Reinhardt on Eichenwald, and we're trying to push through that god-awful gate. And this was right after they buffed Symmetra, I think. So she had all of her stuff.
Oh.
And this guy's like, all right, now push. And, I push, and then all the turrets kill me. And he's just like, Jesus Christ, you don't know how to play that, do you? And I was like, it's my job to push up so that you can shoot those damn things so that I can walk forward and not die. And so eventually, we just noticed that the Junkrat is just shooting over the top, over and over, and just hoping to get pot shots. Not killing anyone, but just doing a ton of damage like Junkrat does. And finally, somebody clicks on and goes, Hey, Junkrat, I don't mean to be like a jerk or nothing, but you should really watch this video series on how to play Junkrat. You could actually, be getting some kills and doing your job. And it's like, this is now the second person with, the stereotypical New York accent. And Ryan and I were like, what the fuck? What is going on with these accents? And then the Junkrat just clicks on and goes like, hey, I got gold fucking damage here. Don't you tell me how to do nothing here. I got the gold damage. And we're just laughing like crazy. And I think I said, hey, I'm Junkratting here over the mic. And it was just incomprehensible what they said after that. They were all yelling at each other like, hey, Paisan, I'll teach you how to play this. And it was just like, oh my God, what just happened? And
that's amazing.
So to this day, whenever we're playing, if somebody has gold damage, we have to turn on our mic and go, I got gold fucking damage. I'm Junkratting over here.
That's amazing. So, of course, with Halo, you have the classic, teabagging, right?
I'm personally not against teabagging because it's somebody gets so excited that they got like an amazing kill that they're like, I got a teabag. I gotta start doing the thing where I teabag on him, and then it means that they have to stand still for like 2 seconds to do it. And almost every single time I see somebody get killed doing it, and it's so satisfying to see them just get wasted for teabagging.
So teabagging for you, really, is it something that you participate in? Do you teabag people?
I never waste my time to teabag. Oh, okay. I have done it once or twice. I have done it once or twice, but it's very rare because it's just like, I'd much rather just get on to the next
Only
kill.
when it's his birthday.
Yeah.
When he's really earned it.
And often I'm playing Diva who can't teabag. Hashtag sexist.
Yeah. Basically what you're saying is that teabagging is a semi-integral part of the game experience.
Somewhat.
Okay, semi-integral. Because you enjoyed teabagging now and again. We got him to admit it, you know.
A little bit.
I'm not a fan of teabagging still.
Okay. So why?
Because you're kind of... I know the person's excited, but it's still kind of like rubbing the person's face in it. So like you just killed them and then like you're just kicking their dead body.
Okay. So let me take this a step further to, you know, some people would say that's a form of you know, virtual sexual assault. You're not taking it that far. Right?
Oh yeah, no.
So like it's not like, you know, you're
when did we start working for BuzzFeed Video?
Yeah, exactly. So like we're not like, okay, well here's why teabagging is bad because of this more out there reason. It's more of a just kind of sportsmanly thing for you.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah. Okay, so what about other in-game activity? What about inactivity? Purposeful inactivity in the game.
Yeah, people just like purposefully trolling in the game. Definitely, I would say toxic, especially when you've got the May on your team. When like as soon as the countdown is done, everyone goes to rush for the door. May wall. And then she just like leaves it up there, so your entire team now is just like a wasted 5 seconds.
Yeah,
especially on something like capture the point. Like if it's an up and then they like break it down immediately, that's fine. Okay, you got me for a second. But the ones who like leave it up, it's like get out.
Okay. I like the ones who screw it up and they do the wrong one, so it's straight, and then they click on, they're like, shit, I didn't mean to do that one. It's like, well, I know who I'm not healing.
So demographic differences between gameplay styles and trolling and toxicity in the game, why is it bothersome? Why does it not matter?
I notice that, like, kids troll a little bit. They usually only do it in the chat or, like, something with the May wall. But usually because they do not have nearly as refined of skills, they sort of... They're like the blood in the water for the sharks. Okay. It just draws them into them. So it's like as soon as you start noticing there's a couple kids on your team, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
We're going down a bumpy road and this might go right off the rails.
But when they're not on your team, I would imagine for you, like, okay, so here are these kids, they're trolling, you know, young John, let's say. And you know, that's gotta be fun to be like, oh, these little like assholes are trolling, they're making the game quote toxic, right? And you can just blow them away. It should, for you, it seemingly that would be enhancing the experience, it being toxic, you know, throwing out whatever curse word or
when
language.
I'm doing really, really well, sometimes I'll get the other team to start trying to insult me.
Yeah.
And that's, if anything, just fuels me.
So what is your thought process on, you know, the younger kids they're trolling? You know, John, it enhances his experience, enhances his pleasure.
Well, I do take great satisfaction in the other team when it's happening to the other team.
Sure.
When they've got a not so skilled player and they're, I don't know, like standing in the same place for 3 seconds. Okay. But I know that like it must be really rough for that team, and I kind of sympathize with them still. Okay. There's nothing I can do about it, aside from take advantage of it. But I do notice that like the younger kids can also be really trolly.
Oh yeah.
Or like can be like pretty toxic in like the voice chat because you can hear the prepubescence in them.
It is really satisfying when they click on their mic though and just get completely shut down for just like, I feel like you really need to get good at this. And like just everybody starts responding by turning on their mics and laughing at their voice. That's, oh God, that's good.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems I've seen with them is that they don't seem to, they've got that like sociopathic tendency of like not being able to realize that everyone else is off like doing their own important thing.
Yeah.
So they'll like yell at,
yeah,
exactly. Like, Diva, why aren't you on the point? Diva, a point right here. Hello, Diva. And the Diva's actually like off killing the entire other team.
Yeah. I love when they'll yell at you, like, why weren't you on the point with me? It's like, well, because there were 5 other people with you, and I was killing their 2 healers. What did you want? Yeah. Like, I was doing my job. You should, like, not just sit there getting babysat by the team and do something.
So that is our episode for today, guys. Let us know some of your experiences playing online, whether they were positive or even possibly negative or very negative in the comments below. We'd like to hear them. Summing up, though.
Summing up, I think Overwatch is a game that everyone plays to try and enjoy. Let's make it an enjoyable experience for everyone.
Yeah, and I would say, you know, only really be a dick if it's called for. I think that's pretty much it. Outside of that, you're pretty good.
Okay.
Oh, and for all those people complaining and competitive about what your team is doing to you, your rank is what you deserve.
Well, I will argue that one.
There you go.
He got put in bronze.
Ooh,
I got put
in... Son!
7 wins, 2 draws, and only 1 loss in my placement matches. I got put in low bronze. Just because...
Moral of the story, don't play Mercy.
Well, I don't think you're allowed to speak anymore. So let us know in the comments below also, you know, if there are other, you know, current gaming topics that you would like us to discuss. And thank you very much for subbing. Thank you for clicking that notification button that tells you when our videos are actually coming up. The real subscribe button,
the actual one.
Yeah.
It's good they added an extra one. Took a lot of Google bucks to come up with that.
2 verification status for subscribing nowadays. And we will see you guys next time. Thank you again.
Thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like and a share, and we will see you guys next time.